doing?
Good, how are you?
So looking back to last Thursday, just reviewing everything on film afterward, what was kind of your assessment when you looked at the entirety of the defense?
Of the entire defense?
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that we were, we were pleased with, there was not any missed tackles. If maybe one or two of them. That's the first thing you do when you go into a ball game, the first game of the season. How crisp are you going to be with tackling? And for the most part, we did a really good job, especially on the back end. There wasn't a lot of missed tackles, and we didn't give up any deep balls, anything that really gave up explosive plays. Those are the things that the communication was above average. We missed some calls here or there, but in communication. But I thought for the most part, I thought we were in mid-season form. We like to say that a lot of times. We do all that practice time. Hit the ground on that first game. You want to play like you're in mid-season form.
Did that surprise you, or you just don't know going into a first game how they're going to do when the Bullets are live?
Well, I would like to think that it's based off our preparation and all the work that we put in. And to say the word surprise, I wouldn't use that word. We have some inexperienced players. You have new players, and how will that mixture fit in with the experience, and how would they handle it together? I think that's what they did a great job of, across the board. Whether it's a defensive lineman, linebacker, or a secondary player. There's experience there, but it's a different team. You got different guys at different positions, so to speak. So again, for the first game, I thought we did a good job. We thought we did a pretty good job as far as putting it all together.
Going forward, trying to replace Brandon Moore, is Tate Gowan and Zamari Maxwell the two guys that really need to step up?
At this point, yes, and so does everybody else. It's really across the board. We like to say that it's a secondary. It's a bunch of DBs. It's not just a corner. It's not a nickel. It's not a safety. We've said that and shared that with you before. We feel like we've got some guys that we can move around. So the more you know the defense, obviously, it gives us an advantage of moving guys around without just pinpointing you're just a corner. So we're doing a lot of it by committee, but those two guys need to step up. There's no doubt about it, and we're looking forward to seeing how they play this week.
How has the team rallied around Bam since the injury?
They're a very close-knit group. They were like that before we came here, going on 2 years here, and obviously it's gotten a lot tighter, and it's Bam, like when we talk to Bam and as a coaching staff and individually, and the one thing he kept on saying, man, hey, look, man, I wish I could be out there with you guys. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of encouragement from his part, which is just an unbelievable credit to him. And then I think the players are doing the same thing for him too.
What are you going to need from him now?
Leadership. When he gets the opportunity to be around the guys, because he really does a really good job with that. He did that when we, at times when we were kind of like leaving him out of practice, and we do that with a couple of guys, and he's totally locked in, coaching the corners, and that's what we want from him, because he does a good job with that.
Specifically with Zamari, how have you seen him get better from last year to this year?
I think it starts in the off season. He's gotten stronger. In the weight room, and he's got a better understanding of our scheme. Like a lot of guys, I see a little bit more ahead as far as understanding our scheme, and a stronger kid, more confident. And obviously for Tay, it's a little bit different because he came in with us in January, and he's made tremendous strides, and so we just got to get some good production out of both those guys.
Did anybody stand out to you? Maybe some guys who were playing some of their first extended action, or some freshmen, or anyone like that? That maybe had a good game?
Again, I think as a collective group, they did a good job. One guy here or there, not really. I think that they all played. Again, the communication was a lot higher than from a standpoint of trying to hit it 100%. No, but we were close. And that's what's the most important thing.
What do you expect from FAU this week?
We expect nothing different from a standpoint of a team that's really well coached on offense and on defense too, obviously. But been around coaching against Coach Kiffin and for a long time, and they do a really good job on offense as far as mixing things up, and so not going to expect anything less. Obviously, they had some success against us last year, maybe not on the scoreboard, but we left some plays out there, and obviously give them credit too. They made a lot of good plays, and so we're going to expect a really good, motivated football team that knows how to attack you on defense, and and so we got a major challenge.
You talked about moving guys around in that back end. Could Aaron Robinson possibly move out of the nickel spot out wide into?
Yeah, anything can happen. Yeah, but again, like I said to you, most of those guys know different positions, and we could do that if we have to.
How did he do for a first game as full-time nickel?
He did well, really well. We were really pleased with him. And you asked me earlier if there's one guy, and thinking back on it, you know, he's the one guy that got the game ball for on defense, and for his first start, he did a great job.
It's quite a difference from him from 12 months ago, where he was
No doubt.
the first game of last year.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a, you know, he didn't start off well because he got hurt.
Yeah, right.
You know, and it's like anything else. You know, it's kind of it's tough to come back in that groove, and especially when there's really good players on the back end, and you start losing reps, and you're going with a hot guy. So it's good to see him come out of the gate locked in and focused.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Coach, as always.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.